pollution. Of course, London's always been a noisy city. As the Victorians knew, the sound of hundreds of horses and carts going over cobbled streets was so bad, well, it was nearly as bad as modern popular art. Of course, some noise is unavoidable. In a city of 10 million people, you have to have noise. But you can't help feeling sometimes that some of it might have been avoided. I sometimes wonder, for instance, who the fathead was who invented a motorbike, and who the even bigger fathead was who decreed in his wisdom that ambulances and fire engines, instead of having those nice musical bells, should have those dreadful, hideous sirens. It's another case, I'm afraid, of God Bless America. In my day, Warren Street was just Warren Street. Today, it means the second-hand car trade. Now, that's fairly recent, but it's typical of London, the great scourge of the 20th century, the motor car, being sold from buildings which were the semis of the 18th century and the slums of the 19th. The most sophisticated piece of machinery any of us are ever likely to own, sold in the most traditional of ways, by men standing around on street corners. But it's work, a way of making a living.
That's 36 on the speed. Yeah. 3 years old, that's a bit steep.
What's been here a lot longer is the rag trade. Between here and Oxford Street, clothing manufacturers who couldn't thread a needle without stabbing themselves to death plan the designs that the hirelings carry out. Designs to make suburbia look beautiful, desirable, fashionable. And of course make the manufacturers rich beyond the dreams of average, as they say. This is the traditional immigrant scene, the sweatshop and the skill of hand and eye. The London family, that institution so beloved of novelists and playwrights, appears to be getting less common. In Camden, the borough I'm strolling through now, only 1 home in 3 has more than 2 people in it, and that's way, way below the national average. So clearly I'm not the first Londoner to have started building a family by moving out. Now why? After all, London doesn't have great fires anymore, it doesn't have great plagues. The slums are less slummy than they were in Victorian times. Destitution is harder to find. So why the retreat of a committed Londoner like me? Well, because of other outrages. Because of the ignoble triumph of the motor car, the proliferation of imbecilic architecture, the breakup of local communities, and the appalling noise level. I know that I can find all these things outside London too, but London, because it is everywhere else magnified 1,000 times, that means that the shortcomings are magnified too.